Hello friends, welcome again. So in this tutorial we're going to see what is port mapping or port forwarding in Docker. So in last lecture we have seen that we try to pull in web server nginx image and we try to create a container using it. So now let's see a kind of a use case where we just want to see that we have a web server running as a Docker container and we just want to access it from our local system or local server, right? So for that we would be requiring port mapping or port forwarding. So idea is what we going to do is we're going to create a web server first. Let's say simply web server, nginx web server, and after that what we're going to do is we're going to whenever this web server is running, so internally this would be running on containers, right? So this would be running on some port. As if you have worked on web servers, you know that it is working on port 80 or 8080. So this web server would be running internally into that container, but we want to access it using our local host or public IP, right? So let's see how we can do that. So for doing that, let's go to the terminal again, and we see we already have Docker images pulled, right? So now what I'm going to do is we try to create the same container using same Docker run command, but we would be passing some arguments into it, right? So let's say Docker run, and then -d is for detaching, for using it in a detach mode, and then I will be using -p command. -p is for the port, and what we are doing is, let's say we just want to expose port 6060 to containers port 80. Let me tell you what is happening here, and this is the image name. So what is happening here is you are creating a Docker container or using the nginx image, and that would be running in -d detach mode, and it would be exposing the port, so that by default the nginx server would be running on port 80 internally. So what we are doing, this port we are defining here is our local systems port, and this is exposing to port 80 internally to the container, right? So hope you're understanding. So it means it is just making a way through our local system to the container. So this is what it is happening. So it will be mapping the port 6060 to containers port 80. So whatever the service would be running on containers port 80 would be exposed to port 6060 locally. So if I hit enter, I see this Docker container is running, right? And here we can see it is we clearly can see that it is exposing to the 6060 port internally to the containers port 80. Now this is running, and the nginx should be working on port 8080. So how we can see that, if you just want to we just go to the browser here anywhere, and I just give the local host, and then whatever the port we have given, port 6060. Oh sorry, I just have to give it here. Here you can see that, right? So I'm just trying to access it locally on my system, and here it is giving us the default page of the nginx, right? So this is, don't worry about this, this is just a default page, right? Here it could be anything. Let's say you have a custom static website that you just want to use in here. So we can customize this page, and the static website would be here, right? So let me quickly show you how you can do that, right? How, if let's say if you just want to use any static website or any static page, you just have to put that page into index.html page, and then you can access it locally. So here the main idea is just to show you that it is working here on port. The service has been exposed on port 6060. So this is how we expose the ports, right? So in the next lecture I will show you how we can customize this particular page to see our static content. So thanks for watching.